Hello and welcome to this tutorial on how to make a self-checking Google form. Now you might be wondering, why do I need a self-checking Google form? What is that? When would I use it? I like to use self-checking Google Forms for vocabulary activities where I want my students to spell a word correctly. Like I want to force that intentional practice of spelling it correctly. I've also used these before when my students have a set of math problems, whether that be out of the book or off of a worksheet or wherever. I will pick a select number of those questions. So say maybe there's 10 on a page. I might select 4 of those and have them enter their answers into this Google form, and it will not let them submit the Google form if they have incorrect answers. And this is just a good way to force students or to help students kind of go back and self-check and make sure they are solving things correctly. So with that being said, let's dive on in. As you can see, I'm in my Drive and I am going to go ahead and create a Google form. And I'm going to use this in that last example that I gave you where my students have completed a worksheet and I just want them to self-check a couple of those problems. So my first question is always name, obviously, because we want students to make sure they have that. I'm going to mark it as required. And now I'm ready to start doing those self-checking questions. So I might have them plug in the answer to number 2. So I'm just going to ask, what is the answer to question, I want that capitalized, 2. I'm going to make this short answer so they can type in the answer. I'm going to make it a required question, and then the magic happens with these 3 dots. I want response validation. These answers, since this is math, will be a number, and I want it to be equal to, we're going to say the correct answer to that was 12.5. And then this custom error text is what they're going to see if they got it wrong. So I might say something like, sorry, try again. And then I would repeat that process for the other questions I want them to self-check. So the answer is 12.5. Let's take a look at what that looks like. All the students see is normal Google form. I'm going to go ahead and put in my name here. And I worked question number 2, but I got 14.5. When I try to submit that or even go to the next question, I'm going to get that sorry, try again notification, and it will not let me until I hit submit, or until I enter that question correctly. The other advantage to this is it makes it real easy for me as I'm walking around the room to see who cannot submit that Google form because they have incorrect answers, and then I know this group of students needs to be pulled for a small group. They need my attention because they are making some mistakes that are not getting them the correct answer. So I hope that was helpful, and I hope that you will use self-checking Google Forms in the future.